today's show is sponsored by DraftKings. Shout out to DraftKings. We know the top rated sports booking app in all of North America, baby. Safe, secure, and reliable. And we obviously know that they are an official partner of the NFL. And with Super Bowl 59 happening this weekend, you know you want to be involved. You know you want to tap into that thing. And the best way to do that is by getting active with the promo code for those that do indulge. All right. When you download the app, make that first bet of $5, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Use that promo code Moats on it one time for the culture. But at the same time, I understand you can get lost in that sauce. Might develop a gambling problem. For those that live in New York, you see the number to text. But for everybody else, the digits to dial are 1-800-GAMBLER. But no, Antonio Jackson, you bring up a good point though, man. In terms of saying they should have kept Baker. Obviously hindsight is 2020. At the time though, I don't necessarily agree. Part of me feels like, they felt like Deshaun was going to be an upgrade. And look, I did too. I'm not about that. Like, I didn't. I was one of the main ones in here talking about, you move on from a Baker if you got a Deshaun Watson available to you. I definitely said that, man. And I was one of the many that was on that train, even understanding that, yes, we knew this dude hadn't played football in a year. We knew that he had the allegations, but we felt like through the due process, it was clear that he didn't do it, or at least that they didn't have evidence to prove that he did it or however we want to word it. But it was like, and it happened back-to-back times with two separate grand juries. So we're like, yeah, man, if this has been cleared multiple times and this is what we say is the due process and we're talking about, the court, it's like, all right, cool, give him the opportunity. So if you can get a guy of that talent, that caliber, it made sense. But when that guy is playing the way that he has played there and also has not been able to stay healthy there, you're like, bro, this is absolutely insane. Why did we do this? And then you look at how Baker is playing, right? Baker, obviously, man, we know the Carolina situation wasn't the best, but then he goes out to LA, has that little bit of a, couple game heat check series, man, with Sean McVay. And now he's been in Tampa killing it, taking him to the postseason, paid, looking good, balling. Shout out to Baker, man. So yes, when we look at how this thing has played out and developed, of course, we're all like, hey, man, why'd y'all move on from Baker, bro? He was available. He was there. Y'all had him in house. You drafted him. He had all them daggone commercials, right? But who the heck would have known? Who would have known that my man Deshaun Watson would not only not be able to stay healthy, right? You talk about the Achilles, you talk about the shoulder, you talk about just the bumps and bruises between. It's like, but when he was even out there on top of that, you're watching the dude playing. It's just like, bro, you're like, even the routine stuff you're not even doing anymore. Low key, it made me feel like I was watching Space Jam in real life. You remember Space Jam, like the OG one with MJ, where the aliens took their talent and you seen them dudes like walking up the court still trying to play. Like, I'm watching, I'm like, hey, bro, this ain't that. Like, But when that's the case, that's why they move on from a guy like Baker, or at least that's why we look and we say, man, why did you move on from a guy like Baker? Because now it looks crazy. But, that's one of them ones, man. I'm glad Cleveland made the move, though, man. I'm glad they ain't listening to me, But obviously all of us, or not all of us, but it was a ton of teams on it. A ton of people were talking about it, man. So, it's one of those things, man. But yeah, who would have thought Deshaun would go from the last time we saw him play, he was leading the league in passing. Led the league. Fast forward after everything that played out, and then it was like, this dude doesn't even know how to throw an out or in or a slant or a dig. It's like, hey, bro, what are we watching here, man? So when that type of stuff happens, man, you just live and you learn, man. You live and you learn.